Hi guys, I am Sasin Lakshika from Gampaha Medical Student Association. Gampaha Medical Student Association have already decided to teach you the last parts of the biology. This is the fourth part of microbiology, and this video is about microbiology used in industry, agriculture and environment. First of all, let's discuss using microbiology in industries. Historical background of using microorganisms in industry. About 6000 BC, after the discovery of microorganisms, Babylonians and Sumerians used microorganisms in making alcohol. So after that, up to now, microorganisms are used in several industries. Use of microorganisms in commercial products that are useful for human. In here, we use microbial cells as end products, microbial metabolic processes as end products, microbial end products as end products, and genetically modified microorganisms as end products. So microorganisms that are used in industry are bacteria, fungi, algae and virus. Bacteria, fungi, algae and virus. Then we have to discuss the basic principles of metabolic processes of microorganisms for product formation. In here, microorganisms have the ability to convert cheap raw materials into valuable end products. In here, microorganisms with the substrate produce products and waste matter, and these products are not pure, these are with impurities, so they must be purified to obtain pure products, and this process will be more commercially profitable if we can use these waste products as the substrate or as the growth medium of these microorganisms. So then let's discuss what are the advantages of using microorganisms in industry. First advantage, microorganisms can convert cheap raw materials into valuable end products. Second advantage, simple nutritional requirements are sufficient for their growth. Third advantage, ability to use different materials as substrate. Fourth advantage, can carry out reactions at low temperature and pressure conditions. Fifth advantage, can manipulate genes to get high quality yields. Sixth advantage, growth conditions can be controlled to obtain desired end products. So these are the advantages of using microorganisms in industry. Due to these advantages, microorganisms are widely used in industries. So now we are going to discuss using microbial cells as end products of the industry. In here we use microbial cells as food and as food supplements. As food, reproductive structure, it means mushrooms of agaricus, lentinus and pleurotus can be consumed as food. Then as food supplements, spirulina, yeast, algae are cultivated as single cell proteins. Then we have to discuss using microbial end products as the end products. So under that topic, first we have to discuss about the alcoholic beverages. Alcoholic beverages are formed by the fermentation process. In here, glucose is converted into ethanol and carbon dioxide by Saccharomyces cerevisiae, and this process takes place in anaerobic condition. By using this fermentation process, beer, wine, toddy and arak are produced, but the substrate is different. In beer production, we use cereal grain malt as the substrate. In wine production, we use grapes and other fruit juices as the substrate. In toddy production, we use palm sap extracted from palmyra and coconut trees. In arak production, we use palm sap extracted from coconut and sugarcane plant. Then we have to discuss about the vinegar production. Vinegar production involves in two steps. First step, alcoholic fermentation, and second, acetic acid fermentation. In the alcoholic fermentation, glucose is converted into ethanol and carbon dioxide by Saccharomyces cerevisiae, and this process takes place in anaerobic condition. Then in the second step, acetic acid fermentation, it is the oxidative conversion of ethanol to acetic acid by Acetobacter and Gluconobacter. In here, ethanol with the oxygen is converted into acetic acid and water. This process takes place in the aerobic condition. Then different raw materials such as toddy, fermented fruit juices, fermented molasses can be used as the substrate. Then we have to discuss about the bakery industry. Above fermentation process is involved in bakery industry also. In here we use wheat flour as the substrate. Then wheat flour is mixed with water, sugar, salt, and then bakery yeast is added. Then leave it for 2-3 hours for rising. During that period, carbohydrate or the wheat flour is converted into ethanol and carbon dioxide by the fermentation process, and carbon dioxide trapped in the dough. So when baking, they are released, forming the porous nature to the bread. Then we have to discuss about the dairy products. Then in the dairy products, lactic acid fermentation is done by using lactic acid bacteria. In here, we use Lactobacillus bulgaricus and Streptococcus lactis as the lactic acid bacteria. Finally, the pasteurization of milk kills all microorganisms in dairy products. In curd and yogurt manufacturing processes, Lactobacillus bulgaricus gives the flavor and Streptococcus lactis gives the creamy texture. Cheese is produced by Streptococcus species and Penicillium mors. Lactic acid production uses dairy waste products from cheese and butter industry and employs the Lactobacillus bulgaricus. Then we have to discuss the organic acids. Organic acids are also produced by the fermentation process. In here, citric acid is produced by sucrose fermentation by Aspergillus niger. Vitamins, vitamin B12 by Pseudomonas and Propionibacterium. Riboflavin fermentation by fungi. Vitamin C by Acetobacter. Then enzymes, amylase by Aspergillus niger, Aspergillus oryzae and Bacillus subtilis. Then protease by Aspergillus oryzae, lipase by Rhizopus species, invertase by Saccharomyces cerevisiae and cellulase by Aspergillus niger. Antibiotics are also produced by the fermentation process. Then they are considered as the secondary metabolites of microorganisms. Penicillin is produced by Penicillium notatum and Penicillium chrysogenum. Streptomycin by Streptomyces griseus. Tetracycline by Streptomyces euryophaciens. Make sure when you are writing these scientific names, spelling should be correct, and in handwriting these words should be underlined separately and only the first letter should be capital. Then we have to discuss using microbial metabolic processes as end products. Under this topic we discuss about biogas production, metal extraction and fiber retting. So as the first topic, let's discuss about biogas production. Biogas typically refers to the gas produced by the biological breakdown of organic matter by microorganisms in the presence of oxygen, and typical composition of biogas contain methane, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, hydrogen and hydrogen sulfide. Then the energy released by biogas can be used as a fuel for cooking, for heat generation and for electricity generation. So this biogas production takes place in the anaerobic condition. Then let's discuss about the metal extraction. Metal extraction, it is the metabolic process of some chemotrophic bacteria are used for extraction of metals from low-grade metal ores such as uranium and copper. Especially copper. Copper is found as chalcopyrite or copper sulfide. So the Thiobacillus thioxidans and Thiobacillus ferroxidans are the microorganisms used in copper extraction. In here, these organisms produce sulfuric acid and Fe2 plus and cause oxidation of the ore and immobilize copper as copper sulfate. Then we can extract copper from copper sulfate by electrolyzing process. So this process that involve microorganisms in extraction of metals is called as the microbial leaching. Then we have to discuss about fiber retting. Heterogeneous bacteria, both at aerobic and anaerobic conditions, participate in this process of extracting fibers from plant materials such as woody stems. These microorganisms secrete enzymes such as pectinase that help to loosen these fibers. In this process, the plant materials are immersed in water for varying lengths of time. Then we have to discuss using genetically modified microorganisms as the end products. Under this topic, we will discuss about vaccines and hormones. Vaccines are produced by genetically engineered microorganisms, genetically modified microorganisms. Example, hepatitis B vaccine, and antibodies used for passive immunization also uses microorganisms. Examples, antitoxins against tetanus, botulism toxins, and immunoglobulin against rabies. Then hormones, hormones like insulin and growth hormone was earlier derived from animals. Especially insulin was derived from the pancreas of animals, but after the discovery of gene technology, nowadays E. coli and Saccharomyces cerevisiae are used to extract insulin. And human growth hormone was earlier extracted from the animals, but as it was less effective, nowadays we extract human growth hormone by using E. coli. Then we have to discuss using microorganisms in environmental management. So under this topic, we have to discuss about bioremediation and solid waste management process. So in the bioremediation is a natural or managed process that use natural or genetically modified microorganisms or the enzymes to do a catalyst action on pollutants and remedy or eliminate them to return the original natural conditions of the environment. This is the definition for the bioremediation, and there are many uses of bioremediation. First one, decrease organic waste contents in the aquatic environment. Second one, accelerate wastewater decomposition in industrial food processing and chemical plants. Third one, remove oil spills from aquatic environment. Fourth one, accelerate composting process. Fifth one, remove toxic metals like chromium, lead, mercury from metal industry wastewater and convert them into non-toxic materials or the metals. These are the usage of bioremediation. Then let's discuss about the solid waste management process. Solid waste means the waste collected from the household. If they are unable to manage in a proper way, it may cause different health problems. So microorganisms involved in this solid waste management process also. So this process takes place in aerobic and anaerobic conditions. In the aerobic condition, the organic compounds complex organic molecules are converted into humus-like stable products in the presence of oxygen by using microorganisms, and this process is called as the composting. In the anaerobic conditions, methanogenous bacteria convert waste matter into methane in the absence of oxygen. So this takes place in the anaerobic condition. Then let's discuss using microorganisms in agriculture. We use microorganisms in agriculture for composting process. Composting is a natural biological decomposition process. Composting is a natural biological decomposition process that converts organic matter to stable humus-like products under controlled conditions by a mixed population of microorganisms in warm, moist, aerobic environment. It means this composting process takes place in aerobic environment with the presence of oxygen. Then let's discuss about the biofertilizers. These are the preparations which contain living natural microbes, and there are many benefits of using biofertilizers. They are less expensive than the chemical fertilizers. They are environmental friendly and restore the natural fertility of the soil. Because of all these advantages, now the most attention goes to using biofertilizers than the chemical fertilizers. So in this lesson we discuss using microorganisms in industry, agriculture and environment. Hope this will be useful in your A-level exam, and the remaining part of this lesson will be covered in upcoming videos. Thank you.